What's going on, world? And mostly from A Connection TV, the network, the one channel on YouTube, where we actually adopt similar connections and spot out differences. And I'm here to talk to y'all about BB18. Your boy here is going to try out for BB19, so if you hear anything about BB19, hit your boy up because I want to go on this show. This show is amazing. It is so freaking hilarious. It is so much drama and backstabbing and who do you trust and who should you believe and so forth and so on. And man, this was by far the best episode of Big Brother I have ever seen. My girl Davon finally beasted in a mother freaking challenge, and I was so excited. I was actually screaming at my TV like, no, Dave, don't put down your arm, don't trust him, take the HOH, take the HOH, take the, and I'm like, oh man, like, don't make a side deal with this fool. And then she makes, okay, before I get all into it, listen, y'all need to follow me on A Connection TV on Instagram, okay? Man, this show is so freaking hilarious. Let me grab my chair and put it in front of me because, like, my bed is, like, sinking down and I just want to be, like, up, like, okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Right, much better. What is all this in the background? Sorry. Okay, so like, I was losing my mind, am losing my mind about this particular episode of BB18 because Vic is back in the house. And Vic wants to make sure that, you know, he's getting along with everybody. He's not creating waves. He kind of wants to he wants to like float by this particular week because, you know, the attention is on him. He's back. He won the battle back. And everybody knows he's a beast at comps. He just wins. That's his thing. He wins. So everybody are kind of like, they're like leery. And it's so crazy because they just had a freaking conversation 2 hours before this was announced that if anybody comes back like Vic, we're voting him right out again. And I'm like, wow, like this is so freaky. Freaky. I'm at this point loving the fact that nobody's throwing Dave's a name in the hat. I mean, Paulie initially was because, you know, how things played out, where all her plans were, all of Dave's plans were pretty much released in the whole house by Tiffany. And it's like, okay, I see why Paulie is wanting to lean towards Dave, but I'm like, come on, like, let's not, okay? Let's let Dave do her motherfucking thing another week in the house, right? And so, you know, James is kind of leery of Vic because James, you know, he bombed the last competition that him and Vic were in just so that, you know, Vic could be put up possibly. And like, he's like, oh Lord, Vic might come after me or whatever the case may be. And so they do this HOH competition. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, like this HOH competition it won't last that long because holding your arm up this long is crazy, right? So who's gonna do this? Then you gotta put your leg like this and put your leg like this and just hold your arm up. My arm would have dropped a long time ago, you hear me? But during this whole thing, Paul is the first to go. And before Paul even does anything, Paul is campaigning. He's like, listen, Vic is my boy. He'll do whatever I want him to do. Let's not put Vic up, okay? Let's not put Vic up. That's my boy. We got this. Let's just chill on Vic. And, you know, he's campaigning. I'm like, okay, he's putting up his socials game. He's getting it, right? He's getting along with everybody. Everybody likes Paul. So we get to this HOH competition. And before the HOH competition, Nicole backstabs Dave. And I'm like, once a fucking again, you backstab Dave to Frank. Okay, cool. I'm not really here for Nicole anymore because Nicole doesn't have one true alliance member in the house but Corey. And it's like everything that she says goes one in there and out the other. And I was kind of like feeling that sort of way to like Dave. I'm like, who will she not backstab? And I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, she won't backstab James and she won't backstab Michelle. And I don't think she'll well, no, she said she wanted to get the showmances out. But I'm like, okay, Dave's kind of like the same way too, but like not like Nicole. Nicole is slick with it, like real slick, real real like knife in the face slick with it. And so we dealing with this HOH, right? And this shit was so fucking hilarious. Paul is the first one to drop after 23 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, holding your arm up that long could be like crazy, like, you know, so he drops. When I tell you this dude is so fucking hilarious, I would get along with Paul. I think Paul is fucking funny. He was like, what do you call a fish without the eye, without an eye? A fish. But I tell you, I was dying, freaking laughing, and I could not stop. Like, I was laughing for a good 4 or 5 minutes. That was hilarious. Oh God, it was so freaking hilarious. Everybody started dropping. Nicole drops, Corey drops. You know, Corey hands Frank a bottle of water. I'm like, why are you handing Frank a bottle of water? He hands Frank the bottle of water. Frank hands it to James. And Vic is like, yo, James, toss me the bottle of water. I'll grab it. He's like, you sure? And Vic's like, yeah. So James tossed the bottle of water to you know, Vic. Vic drops the confetti. And then, you know, out of nowhere, Frank is like, well, I have to ask Goofy because at this point, it's like 4 or 5 hours in. Amazing, Davon. Oh, I'm so fucking proud of her. So proud of her. And you know, James has been good too. James has won comps before. So I'm like, okay, James is doing his thing. Natalie was doing her fucking thing. Amazing, amazing job. It's good to see these people doing their fucking thing in comps, you know? Bridget, she's a freaking beast. She's the best female beast in this damn thing. And I'm like, okay, she's not going nowhere. Even with that messed up ankle, she's not going anywhere. And Davon doesn't trust her. Davon doesn't want nothing to do with Bridget. And it's crazy to me because Davon is laughing and I'm like, yes, they yes. Yes, they yes. And I'm like, yes, Frank. Yeah, I mean, James. Yes, James. Bridget, boo. Bridget, boo. Boo. So the hilarious parts of this episode was the fact that the guys and the girls, they could not leave until the HOH competition was done. So literally, they're outside and the sun comes up. We're past like 5.5 hours, 6 hours, and they were sitting here with their arm up like this. Do you know how painful that is? Oh my God, I can just imagine. And they're all falling asleep. They're standing up, ready to go. Dave, I was like, I could do this all day. Like, it's yes, Dave, yes, Dave. James like, look here, time to make a deal. Let's make a deal. James he know the formula already. Nobody wants to deal with this shit. Let's go and make a deal. Bridget's like, no, I don't want to. I'm not, no. And she's like, Frank, what should I do? So Frank goes head to Dave. Frank says, you know, somebody came to me and said that you wanted to get me out before Vic. I'm like, ooh, Frank is messy. Ooh, Frank is messy. Frank is messy. And so Davon is like, what? Really? What? Who are you talking about? And, you know, that's when Paul... That's when Paul go down. He like, wait a minute. I see Curly Q over here trying to make a deal. So let's go see what the hell is going on. Yes, Paul. Yes. Yes, Paul. Go through. So, you know, Paul is like, oh, what's going on? What are we talking about over here? We all need to buy groceries or something? And, you know, I'm just dying laughing. Frank's like, well, I'm over here trying to make a deal. And then Davon is like, well, he just said that somebody said da-da-da. And Paul's like, well, let everybody know. Let's figure out what's going on. Tell everybody. And I'm like, oh, shit, Paul is hilarious. So Dave says, I will drop my thing if you tell me who said it. And I'm like, ooh, Dave, don't do it, Dave. Don't do it, Dave. Don't do it, girl. So Frank says, Nicole. And Davon is like, what? What? Are you serious? And, you know, I'm like, Davon, don't freak out, Davon. Don't freak out. Keep your cool. Keep your motherfucking cool. So Davon's like, fuck this. I'm keep my hand up, cause I'm fucked anyway you go about it. I'm at a loss any way you want to look at it. So I gotta scale down on the cussing if I'm gonna be on BB. 19. So, she like, if I lose, she gonna throw me up because she already against me, and Bridget don't like me either. I don't trust her. Tell Bridget to drop her hand, and I'll give it to James because I trust James. Tell Bridget to drop her hand, I'll give it to James because I trust James. And I'm like, no, don't trust no one in the house. You can't trust anyone in the house. You can't trust anyone in the house. Keep it. HOH for day. HOH for day. And you know, long story short, she tells the whole house what Frank just told her about Nicole, and Nicole is crapping bullets. She doesn't even know he don't know which way to look, who to turn to, what, and she's lost. She's gone. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, Davon, you could have played this all the way different ways, but at the end of the day, everybody wants Frank and Bridget out the house anyway, so you're safe. But you're safe. Everyone wants Frank and Bridget out the house. And so, you know, Davon is like, all right, well, Bridget, you know, I don't even have a problem with you. She smooth talk. I don't even have a problem with you, but I'm not dropping it. So you drop it, I'll drop it, we'll give it to James. And Bridget's like, should I do it, Frank? And Frank's like, go ahead. So Bridget drops, Day drops, and James gets it, right? Natalie is like, James, if you win, I'll give you a kiss. So she gives James a kiss. James excited. I love the relationship between Natalie and James. I think it's amazing. Beautiful freaking full, right? So Davon is pissed because what she just found out about Nicole. Nicole denies it or whatever, but you know, Nicole, she can't deny anything. So Nicole tries to go ahead and talks to Day. Day is like, oh, I don't believe him. I trust you. But then she's like, and the post-confessional is like, I don't really trust Nicole. I really don't, but I'm just going to play it cool, man. I'm like, yes, Day. Day, you going to play this game, girl. You going to play this game? Yes, Day is, her social game is on point. Her social game is on point, and that physical, she could have won that HOH. She could have had that, and I'm so proud of her. So I'm like, okay, yes, Day, go ahead, play the game. So you know, Nicole tells Corey's like, well, you shouldn't have said that, you shouldn't have did that, blah blah, whatever. Frank's like, oh, Nicole, I have to talk to you. Nicole's like, yeah, we should talk. And she's like, I don't want to talk to that fricker. I'm like, girl, you need to stop, pick a side and stay on that side. That's what you need to do. It's like, it's too many members in the house for them to keep going back and forth and playing each other like this. Pick a side and rock with that side and be winning beast that comps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's no teams anymore, but you can still have your team, like, make it work. I don't know, like, it's really aggravating. Like, Nicole is aggravating. Nicole needs to go. I think Corey is cool, but Nicole needs to go. I don't trust her. I used to like her, but I don't trust her. No. She needs to go. Like, she needs to go, like, right now. I like James, I like Day, I like Paulie, and I like Paul. Like, those are my top four. And if I had to add a fifth one to that, I don't have a fifth one to add. I think Vic is cool. I think Vic is cool too, because at the end of the day, I think he's really playing the game. Like, physically, he's really playing the game. His social game is shits, but I think he's really playing the game, and he just wants to be cool with everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wants to win it fair and square, and that's why I like Vic. Even though he threw Jose's hat and the thing, name of the hat before, but I don't think I'm not saying he's dumb, but I don't think he's really in it like that socially with the game. Physically, he's a beast. But James is all like, well, I'll make a deal with you. I won't throw you in a hat. He never mentioned Frank's name, but he threw Bridget's name up there so Bridget can drop the thing. But see, that's the thing. Like, Natalie and Bridget are cool. Natalie is really looking at James as a little boo thing or whatever, and I'm thinking to myself, Natalie's like, but you promised you won't par up. Natalie is feeling some sort of way. James is torn between the whole house and going on against his word, and I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, you should not go against your word. You should not go against your word. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have said that to begin with, but you shouldn't go against your word. I know we're playing against 500 grand, but at the end of the day, your word is all you have in that house. And he said this, he did this, the season he was on, he played them. The season he was on, and it's like, can I trust you or can I not trust you? And that's the thing, like, you really need to be smart about your word choice and how you verbally out yourself, point blank, period. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. He's gonna go against it because the whole house is staying to get these two in. So he puts up Bridget, and I was so shocked. I was so shocked when he put up Bridget, because I'm like, Are you serious? Like, okay, but then again, if he wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, and one of them won the power of veto, he could take the person off and put somebody else and say, if he not be nominated. So at the end of the day, you need to put the two powerhouses in so that one of them is going home. And none of them have the votes. One of them they're going home. One of them are going home. So I'm like, okay, it makes sense, James, to throw Frank and Bridget in. But I was still shocked that he had Bridget in there. But I'm like, at this point, it's those two for the next 2 weeks. Like, really, y'all have to throw them up the next 2 weeks. Because if Frank get head of household, Frank's gone. But if Bridget get head of household, she coming for y'all. She is coming for y'all. And you gotta have to figure out how y'all gonna align yourselves. I really ultimately think it's gonna be a Vic versus Paulie type of situation. I really do, because Paulie is gonna, well then again, Paulie likes Paul too. So I don't really know what's happening. This freaking season is amazing. Amazing. And I'm so glad that they finally shown her true talent and the fact that she could actually beast in a comp if she wanted to beast in a comp. When she was like, oh, I can have my hand up here all day. Like, I don't trust y'all. And I don't trust you either. I was like, I know she about to get mad and her arm about to drop. I'm like, control it, Day. And she fucking she controlled it. I was so proud of Day. I can't wait till she get her black ass home. So we can talk. Day, Day. I can't wait. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, mama. Mona Simone is proud of you too, bitch. Yes, bitch. You. Because Davon loves Mona Simone. Anyways, what did y'all think of this particular episode? It was the best, like the best freaking episode ever. I love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments below. Deuces.
Explain to the people that weren't able to understand your history with your sister, if you can give us a little brief synopsis of how you came to meet and how that all worked out for the show.
Okay, yeah, I met Asia when I was about 15. I was about to turn 16.
I was trying to hurry. I didn't know nothing. All I did was I came. I didn't want to do nothing. I was so hungover. I couldn't do nothing.
There was everything else.
Right.